Really appreciate it. Isn't Adrian amazing? I remember when she was quiet and shy. When she first joined my GSOW team, she was just like hanging off to the side, very shy about everything. I was going to set my timer. I'm going to let you guys know I will not have time for Q&A, and I am going to take my full time, absolutely. So bear with me. I have a lot to tell you. I've come all the way from Salinas, California to tell you these things. One of the things I want to make sure you guys understand is I'm going to be talking about activist kinds of things. And I want you to really understand we are in a horrible condition in the world. We are under attack. Science, critical thinking, it is under attack, and it has been for a very long time. I started this Wikipedia project 2010-ish, something like that. Lee would probably know. And we have been fighting to control Wikipedia and to make it the best we possibly can for science communication. I'm going to make that argument to you today. I want you to understand we are even more so in a war, and that's how I see it. So if I get a little bit emotional, it's because I feel very passionate about this. And I think the time for sitting down and poo-pooing and waiting for them to do something is way past. I also want to tell you that the first part of activism is showing up. And you guys showed up. And I'm so proud of you for showing up. And thank you so much for making this conference. We're busting out the seams here. They're going to have to find a new venue or something next year or break out the walls. This is amazing. And I want you to understand that there's a lot of people all over the world who would absolutely adore to be here. And that you have a conference in Calgary is amazing. So I want to thank Jana Lee for inviting me, as well as the committee, as well as all the people who've worked to make this conference what it is. Lois, if you're watching somewhere, I hope you're watching. I know that she had a lot to do with the first two. And it's really important that people understand we have to meet in person and get together. So if you're in Edmonton this next weekend, we would love to invite you for the conference that Rodney and Kat and Adrian and I will be speaking at. We're having students there. So this is one way of getting younger people to come to our conferences. And the other thing I want to make sure I push is there in July, I believe Edmonton is going to be hosting a conference for critical thinkers that are teacher adjacent or teachers, and that's called LilyCon. And it's named LilyCon after a very prominent person in our community who died a few years ago, wonderful man that we really wish we'd had around a lot longer, Scott Lilienfeld. So if you are even slightly interested in the world of teaching, critical thinking, all that, reach out to Rodney, or I don't know where Rodney is. Oh, back here, talk to him. But that's going to be in Edmonton in July. Okay, so let me start my talk. I beg your attention. So I am going to be talking about two different things. A lot of people know me, believe it or not, as one or the other. They don't know I do other stuff. But I'm here because it's so important to explain to you. You're my peers. I'm explaining to you, reaching out to you to let you know what's going on in the worlds that I'm in. These are the two projects that I'm most known for, psychics and Wikipedia. Now, when I say the word psychic, I mean mediums, people who communicate, who say they can communicate with the dead. So if I use the word psychic, I mean people who say they can communicate with the dead. Is that too light? I mean, you guys can see the screens okay? Because it looks like it's okay. It looks a little blurry up here, but anyway. This picture over here on the right is me. So just let you know, I had cancer in 2013, and I was bald, and I had never had more fun at Halloween in my life. I dressed up as everything. So that's me as Nosferatu. So I'm going to be doing two talks. All right, you guys okay with that? So I am not going to have questions. So if you want to take pictures of the slides, to remind you as you go, because there's a lot of content here, you're more than welcome to take pictures of the slides. I would be insulted if I don't see phones reaching up, looking at the slides. So take pictures of the slides to remind you to go back and look at some of this, especially the stuff that has to do with Wikipedia. So we're going to start with psychics. Again, that's me. Grief vampires is a phrase coined by my partner, Mark Edward. And so what I want to know is I want to know what's been going on. And I've really cut this way back, you guys. This is just the bare bones of what I could tell you about stories and things. But I want to understand, I wanted to come here to explain to you what's going on in the world of the psychics, because this is something I've spent years following. And in the world of psychics, people tend to, who don't follow this very much, they tend to think that the people who are getting psychic readings are gullible, stupid, you know, that kind of thing where they're, you know, how could they just not fall for it? But I want you to understand, I'm hoping you're going to be able to leave this little presentation I'm doing to have a little more compassion for the people who are the people who have fallen for the world of the psychic medium. And I hope to make that argument for you. So I want to understand more about what's happening. And I call this the motivated sitter. All right. So this is, I'm going to start off with Tyler Henry. You don't have to know who he is. Tyler Henry is the Hollywood medium. He's a very young man. I've been following his career since 2016 when he was, I think, 19. He's one of the top psychic mediums around. Hands up, anybody's heard of Tyler Henry? Good, you don't have to, but so it's not a very big thing. But he's the hot dude right now. So he's on Netflix. He's got shows all over the place. So one of the things I'm going to be talking about is why is it that when a person goes to see a medium, they feel that they got a really great reading. They walk out, they say, that was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Oh my gosh, they're definitely in touch with my dead, whatever. How is it that where is that connection? Why is that happening? As I said, these are not dumb people. These are people who have been fallen into this world for some reason, and why? So Tyler Henry, back in January, you guys noticed there was a bunch of fires in LA, right? Lots of homes. Sad, very sad. So Tyler Henry, there was this person, her name is Ricki Lake. Ricki Lake, anybody? She was a very famous talk show host back in the 1990s. And her home was one of the houses that burned down. So one of the things is she went on a TV show called, it was on Netflix, it was Live from the Other Side with Tyler Henry. So the premise is he walks into a studio, there's an audience, it's all dark. And then there's a stage. He walks in, boom, boom, boom. He sits down, the lights come up, and there's a celebrity and the celebrity's friends sitting on the stage. And supposedly he doesn't know who they are ahead of time. He might know once the lights go up. And then he gives them a reading. And the audience is there and they applaud and all that kind of stuff. And so I've been evaluating that, and it's very interesting what's actually going on. We can talk about that later if you want, but I'm not going to be talking about it today. But when Ricki Lake's house burned, in January, she immediately went to Instagram and she wrote this post, and I will read it for you who are having a little trouble reading it. This is Instagram. This is like 3 days after her house was burned down. The great Tyler Henry medium called it less than 3 months ago on October 15th, 2024. Ross and I were on Tyler's show, and guys, he saw the fire. The show is on Netflix. I urge you to watch it, Live from the Other Side with Tyler Henry. OMG, praying for all those impacted by this ongoing nightmare, including my new friend Tyler Henry, medium. So what is going on? This is a celebrity. She's got lots of money and she's fame. And it was awful to lose her house. But the thing is she just lost her house. You think she's got something better to do than post something on Instagram that says, like 3 days after her house was burned, talking about the show she was on. How did she remember this? That Tyler Henry told her house was going to burn down? Well, how? If he told you your house is burning down, you get your stuff out of your house or you sell it within 3 months or something, you know. But that apparently isn't what happened. So that's odd. Why is she remembering that he did this? And if Tyler Henry did predict a fire, that her house is going to burn down, we need to know that. Because that's pretty freaking awesome. Science needs to know that people are predicting and it happens, right? That would be amazing. So what I wanted to look at, so the news picked it up, obviously. And thankfully, at least the headlines don't say he predicted it. What they say is, she says he predicted it. So that's kind of where I'm going to go with this theme. I'm going to talk about this a few times. So we're going to watch it. All my clips are about a minute long. So I think if I hit a button, which button do I hit to make the video play? That's a laser. Ooh.
I think just forward.
Oh, do you think that makes it? Oh, there it goes.
This is good to keep in mind. There might end up being a coincidence where
not only do we lose something, and I'm trying to kind of articulate this without like it sounding concerning, I think this may have already happened. If there was a loss of material objects from both fire and water though, that's the kind of weird distinction. It's two separate things.
Okay.
So we're gonna end up finding that there's a story where like there was a house fire or something along those lines. A fire risk. But they're separate from that, and this is got a little bit, might end up being a little bit more pertinent. We had like a really bad storm and our basement flooded and got a bunch of pictures ruined, and we couldn't ever bring them back. There's just something about watching water seepage into a place it shouldn't and damaging things. So keeping both of those things in mind.
Okay. Well, the fire already happened.
Fire already happened.
You don't see another fire.
No.
In Malibu.
Yes. Oh gosh. I get it. Every 10 years, I feel like they get a big one.
Yeah.
But the kind of emphasis here is for some reason on water as well.
Okay.
Fire and water. We gotta watch it out.
Okay.
So.
You can see he did not predict her house would burn down. In fact, it was quite the contrary. He warned her that it was already happened. It's fine, no problem, don't worry about it. But why did Ricki Lake misremember this? It was only 3 months ago. You would think she would remember that. But it was 3 days after her tragedy. So it's something's going on in the brain. How did she do that? It's a very public thing, but she went, you know, viral with her Instagram post saying he did predict it. Isn't that interesting? I find that fascinating. I think there's a PhD waiting for somebody who wants to research this. So this is Tyler Henry. He is fleeing from the fire.
Largely on fire right now, so we got an evacuation warning. There's no power. I don't really have cell service beyond right now where I'm uploading this. But I just want to let everyone know we're okay, we're safe, we're keeping an eye on buildings and how things are going. I really feel for my neighbors, all the pets. It's just devastating beyond words. So it is what it is in this sense. I can only do so much currently. I'm just trying to take it one moment at a time and keep you posted. So I'll let you guys know what there is to return to.
He's the psychic. So why is he saying this? What do you mean it is what it is, Tyler? Why didn't you warn people? You care so much. Why haven't you warned anybody? I don't understand why these people stay in business. They haven't predicted anything with any way of verifying. It's ridiculous. But the videos I'm going to show you might explain what's going on. I find this fascinating, that they continue to believe in these people, and they're millionaires. He probably owns an island somewhere. But his house did survive. But at the time, he didn't even know. So why wasn't he, I don't get it. All right, so I write for Skeptical Inquirer, which all the cool kids do. Yes. So you're welcome to take a picture of this screen if you'd like to go back and read an article that I've written about Tyler Henry and exactly what we just talked about. And this is where I publish. This is turning a miss into a hit, and it's kind of what I'm talking about today. I also am an avid producer of videos for my channel, Psychics Explained. And in my videos that I do there, it's down in the weeds. It is readings that I've gotten, I've found, people have given me, and the details of those readings. So it's really, really in depth. So if you're interested in that kind of thing and understand the psychology of what's going on, this is my channel. You might want to check it out. Please subscribe. So we're going to talk about, we talked about 3 months that this Ricki Lake misremembered. Now we're going to talk about less than 24 hours. So what I'm going to show you is another 1-minute clip, and I'm going to read this to you. This is a woman. You don't need to know who she is. She's just somebody who has had a reading with a medium that you've never heard of. You'll see him in a minute. And within a day, within 24 hours, she's written a testimonial for this man. Now this is a testimonial she wrote. It says, last night's reading with Mark Anthony, that's the medium, was right on the mark. He provides hope and reassurance my son is still there in some form. Mark offered details which I was genuinely surprised about. How could he have known my son's nickname for his girlfriend was Giuseppe? Thank you, last night was truly amazing. I feel a little silly, however. I was truly in shock hearing the name Giuseppe again and then having Mark pick me. So there's a lot going on in this. This woman had the reading. Within 24 hours, she's writing a testimonial about how amazing it was and how Mark picked her out of the audience. Now this is a gallery reading. You're not going to see her. So there's a bunch of people on the screen. Almost all of them are probably women. And there's a medium. And what they do is they call out something and say, this is something, and then people volunteer and say, I think you're speaking to me. And then they pick and they say, oh, this is the person. And then they bring them forward and they give them a reading. You're not going to see that part. You're just going to see this little bit. Now, check this out. Tell me what you think.
Joseph or Giuseppe. Giuseppe is an Italian name, Joseph. Giuseppe. And if Giuseppe makes sense with anyone else, raise your hand. I know we're running short on time, but I'm hearing Giuseppe. Okay, is there a Giuseppe? I know Elizabeth, running out of time. I just want to see if there's a Giuseppe.
Yeah, if there's a Giuseppe, then we need to find out. So anybody who is, isn't that also Pinocchio, Jenna is saying?
That was Geppetto.
So
What was Pinocchio's creator was Geppetto. But if that is resonating with somebody, that will work.
okay, well, let's see. Robin's saying it's her son's nickname for his girlfriend. And then we also have Petra saying her Papa Joe. So is his real name Giuseppe, Petra? Could you just
Let's go back to the nickname. What was the nickname?
Papa Joe?
No, before that. There was boyfriend, girlfriend.
Hey, my son's nickname for his girlfriend, I guess, is Giuseppe.
And is the son in spirit?
Is the son in spirit? So let's see. Could you tell us, Robin, if your son is in spirit? Yes, she says yes.
Okay, let's bring them up, because if I'm getting Giuseppe and that was the nickname, that when it's right on point like that, that's it.
I'll leave my picture of my screenshot of me up there. That should be a meme, I think. So that's me in my office that's Psychics Explain. That's where I do my videoing. But you can see the woman wrote a testimonial even less than 24 hours later, and she completely misremembered what happened. She says he picked her out of the audience. No, she fought against somebody else to get the person to give her the attention so he'd pick her. That's silly. He also would have taken Joseph, Giuseppe, or Geppetto. Any of those would have been a hit. That's amazing. And then you see how the medium at the very end says, well, we got it right on, so it must be it. But also he had to ask, is the son dead? Not that nobody, it doesn't dawn on them to ask these questions because they're so far into this world that they believe this is to be true. And it's fascinating how this woman, within 24 hours time, completely misremembered what had happened. And as she left her reading, she said, and probably told everybody she knows, oh, it was amazing. I saw the psychic. He said, my son, he said, your son is here, and he has told me that his girlfriend's nickname is Giuseppe. I mean, why would somebody say that? But that's what she heard, and that's what she remembered. So I'm going to show you something even quicker. So this is a very old TV show, or something that I found recently. And what you're going to see is a woman sitting on the stage, and there's a beautiful dog, by the way, so just dog alert, by the way. And there's a psychic sitting with her, and it's like one of those public access TV things. I don't even really know. I don't know what year it is. It's old. It's very ancient. And the medium, the psychic, is giving a reading to the woman in the sweater. I'll show you right now. So first I'm going to show you what the woman says, the woman who's getting the reading. That's the sitter. I'm going to show her your response. It's like 10 seconds. And then I'm going to go and play the video where she gives a reading. So think about that. I'll try to stop it so that you can see.
That's funny you should say that. My brother just came from Texas to see me.
Do you have any vacation plans over the next 6 months?
I haven't planned anything just yet.
Mm-hmm. It very well may be. I am getting a trip by. It'll be a distance, and so I'm getting by air. It may be to a different state before February, but I do get some kind of an enjoyment. This won't be for business. This will be for pleasure. Maybe to see someone you haven't seen for a long time, or it's possible someone's coming in that you haven't seen for a long time. And be prepared for that, because I do think that that's going to be in the makings for you.
So as you can see, the woman said, oh, that's funny, you should say that. My brother just came from Texas to come and see me. In other words, I'm saying, you were right. But what she actually said was a whole lot of stuff, and this woman fitted into that. And this is a woman who's motivated to get a reading. And so she is not hearing what the psychic said. She's only hearing what she wants to hear because she wants a reading. So this is a motivated sitter. This is a term I'm using. Beautiful dog. And you're going to see it again. So now this last little clip I'm going to show you is very special. It's from the exact same session. I stumbled across this a couple weeks ago. And what you're going to see is a pet psychic who's going to read the dog. The dog belongs to the psychic. The dog belongs to the psychic. So you're going to see the dog. It's beautiful. So the pet psychic is going to tell her about the dog. But as I said, what I'm going to start with is a clip showing the psychic misremembering what the other pet psychic says. So watch that first, and then I'm going to go in. It's like just 10 seconds long. No, like 20 seconds long, and then it's going to be a reading. It'll give the reading just like I've showed you. So watch and enjoy.
But it's really interesting that you picked that up, because it's something I've sort of had as a secret in the closet for a while.
Well, a couple of things come to my mind about the dog. She's very sweet. She seems like there's almost like two sort of personalities that are inside this dog.
Oh, wow. It's really interesting that you say that, because I've had that feeling for a long time.
But it wasn't always that way. I think that Sunny was kind of on her own, and then something kind of just sort of came into the picture that influenced her in some way. It wasn't a human. It wasn't you. It was possibly.
That's right.
Possibly another.
That's right. This is going to put me out on a limb, but you're right. When she was about 6 months old, she had a grand mal seizure.
So as you can see, even the psychic misremembers what happens. She says, "That's really funny. You should pick that up." Because I haven't really told anybody about this. My dog does have two personalities after it had a grand mal seizure. And all you see the pet psychic saying is generic whatever. So all these videos are up on my channel if you want to watch them in full. Now it makes me very emotional. Adrian's realized what it is that's going on. That pet psychic is my boyfriend. And we were together for 15 years. He just died on International Psychics Day, by the way. So he wrote the book on psychic world and what goes on, and I found this clip because I have all these videos and cassettes of him, and I'm trying to get them all digitized, and I just happened to find this. I'd never heard of this. So I've only known him since 2009, and so he is Mark Edward, mentalist, very famous in the world of mentalism, seance, great friend of James Randi, and a performer of seance at the Magic Castle in LA. So anyway, the interesting thing about this is what is going on? Why are these sitters so motivated? And that's the fascinating thing to me. Why are they doing this? In real time, even the psychic who knows the tricks is falling for it. How in the world is that happening? I think it's fascinating, and I have a few answers. One is that people, especially these women, are raised in Christianity or a religion that believes in life after death. So to have somebody, if you believe in angels and demons and all that kind of thing, it's just a tiny baby step away from believing in psychics. Somebody can communicate with them. Why wouldn't they? So if all your peers, your family, and so on, they hear these stories from people like these other motivated sitters, they hear these stories about how, oh my gosh, I had the most amazing reading. Well, it does sound like it could be accurate, right? I mean, why not fall for it? The other thing we forget is that these women are in grief. A lot of them are in grief, and I tear up thinking about it because they're always here with us, right? So we're always like this. Those little people we loved are always there, and we want to hear from them. And I'm going to tell you a story. So bear with me. It's a 30-second story that I decided at 3 in the morning I was going to tell you guys. So when Mark was dying, he died of prostate cancer last August. And men, get your prostate checked. Some psychic Mark was, if he didn't know that he had prostate cancer, right? So we had lots of readings. Nobody ever told him. as we went to the hospital, I hope this isn't too triggering for anybody, and they told us he was going to go into hospice. He's laying in bed, and he reaches, and they left the room, and they said to me, and he says to me, and really quietly, "Kiss you." So I leaned down, and I let him kiss me on the cheek. And as I lifted my head up, he said, "No, tissue." So if a psychic had told me in a reading, and I get lots of readings, had said something about kissing or tissue or Kleenex or something of the sort, I'm going to automatically relate that to my last moments with Mark, right? Because we want so badly to get that reading. We're so motivated to get that reading. We paid money. We've waited hours. We've waited days and weeks and years to get that reading. All our peers have told us how amazing it is. I want that experience too. And when you believe in an afterlife, then you believe that it's possible, and so you're motivated to excuse everything else to find that it's really true. And you will move heaven and earth to talk to your child again, per se, if you believe it. And there's nothing I can say to do anything different, because you're going to believe regardless, and I'm just an evil human being. But what I'm doing is I do stings. So there is a psychic out there, and there's many of them. Some of them are in this business because they're pressured into it, and that's a whole different story that I'll write about someday. It's almost all women that are victims of this. But I do stings, and they all have odd names. And so this one, as Adrian said, I did one, and the New York Times followed it, and it was called Operation Peach Pit and Operation Pizza Roll. So this one is going to be Operation Banana Cream Pie. You can talk to me separately, and I will tell you what's going on if you want. I just can't do it while I'm videoing because it's not yet happened. And it's a woman out there who is preying on people who have very vulnerable situations. And so I'm going to catch her, and it's going to be fun. So if you want to know about the answer, what happens, you'll have to follow me on social media, or you'll have to find a way of getting a hold of me, or follow Skeptical Inquirer, or have me come and do a talk for you, or a podcast, or whatever. I'll be happy to reveal the details once we're done with it. But that's what we're looking for next. So this is my channel, Psychics Explained. If you have a hard time remembering my channel's name, you might find this is easier to remember it from this way. That was unintentional, thank you very much. Somebody pointed that out to me. Accidentally, I created that. So I have a few minutes. I'm going to go through these slides, and we're going to switch topics. So here we go. Girl of Skeptics on Wikipedia. My board is here. Thank you guys for welcoming them. There's Deborah, there is Lee, there's Robin, and Adrian, and myself. This is my board. I run a nonprofit. The nonprofit is called About Time, and we edit Wikipedia, my team. I have over 100 people located all over the world. We write Wikipedia pages concerning science, scientific skepticism, claims of the paranormal, people of science. We're the only team that does this. We write in all languages possible. We are freaking awesome. Let me tell you, everybody in the world of the paranormal hates us. We're just hated everywhere. So there is no better resource for science communication than Wikipedia. And I'm glad most of you are sitting down, because I'm going to try to recruit you to join my team. So just you watch. Let's see if I can do it. So this man you may or may not know. This was a slide I created a long time ago. This is Robert Kennedy Jr., RFK Jr. So RFK Jr. has a Wikipedia, has an organization called Children's Health Defense, and most people don't know what that is. So, because children, health, defense, that sounds really kind of cool, you know? Who doesn't want to defend children's health, you know? So, RFK Jr. has this website, and he has all this. This is a pop-up. You know, when you go to a website, it pops up this thing, and it has put your email in here, sign up for more. So we wrote the Wikipedia page for Children's Health Defense a long time ago, not knowing the craziness that was coming, because we're not psychic either. So this is a Wikipedia page that we wrote, and I'm not going to go into detail for this. This is something you can look at on your own as you pick up your phones to take a picture of this to remind yourself. So I will read the yellow part up here. It says, Children's Health Defense nonprofit activist group mainly known for anti-vaccine propaganda and has been identified as one of the main sources of misinformation on vaccines. Citations. And then again in yellow it says, against various public health programs, such as vaccination and fluoridation of drinking water, cite. And then arguments against vaccination are contradicted by overwhelming scientific consensus about the safety and effectiveness of vaccines. Citation. Also, this is something that my team does, is we put these bars over here, these knowledge sidebars. And because most people go to Wikipedia and they're only there briefly, just like, boom, we're here, oh, I got the information I need, I'm gone. So most people don't read the whole article. So now one of the things you missed on here is that according to the website, censorship is hiding us from you. And now this is an older screen, but what I'm going to show you is, yes, they put this out. This is their blog that says, under the guise of fact-checking, Google, Wikipedia, and other tech companies falsely accuse Mr. Kennedy and Children's Health Defense of spreading misinformation about vaccines and other urgent matters. Wikipedia refuses to correct their inaccurate entries despite our numerous attempts to provide them with the truth. Isn't that awesome? I love it. So they're pissed, and that's fine. So he's not the biggest bully I've ever dealt with. So this is difficult to see. This is not a tool I have. This is a tool that's on the internet. It tells us how many times somebody has gone to a Wikipedia page, just opened it up. We don't know if they've been there for hours. We don't know if they've been there for seconds. We don't know if it's the same person going there over and over. We just know that they've accessed the page. So it's a way of monitoring how is it a good thing? You know, I mean, are we doing a good thing? Are people actually looking at the work we're doing? So we can see that since we created this Wikipedia page, 760,000 people have opened that page for whatever reason. Now I'm going to show you Barbara O'Neill. This is another Wikipedia page we wrote, and hopefully this is going to really hit it home. All those people out there who are holding out on being part of our Wikipedia project. I can train anybody, but you have to be on Facebook. So, because we put you in the secret cabal that's hidden on Facebook. And nobody can get there but us. So Barbara O'Neill is nobody you've ever heard of. She's an Australian. She's nobody. She's a naturopath, blah, blah, blah. We wrote her Wikipedia page because the Australian skeptics had reported on her so much. So we wrote this Wikipedia page thinking nothing would ever come of it. We wrote it years ago. She's a naturopath, Australian alternative medicine personality known for promoting dangerous and unsupported alternative medicine, and blah, 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 blah. And then you can see the sidebar over here that says she's in the series for alternative medicine. Thank you for taking pictures, so you'll go look them up later. So Barbara O'Neill, N-E-O''N-E-I-L-L. So this is Barbara O'Neill's, this is a Google knowledge bar. And you guys have seen these on different Google searches or any kind of search you do on the internet. So what happens when you search for a term, a person, a place, a thing, what's going to happen, all I did is typed in the word Barbara O'Neill up here in the search bar, and this is what comes up. Now Barbara O'Neill was not the same person, but she was an actress in Gone with the Wind. As famous as that is, she's been superseded by this other Barbara O'Neill, and the first hit that comes up is a Wikipedia page. And I want you to notice that the Wikipedia page is right here, and it says, alternative medicine personality known for promoting dangerous and unsupported alternative medicine. And over here on the left, it says, Barbara O'Neill is an Australian alternative medicine personality known for promoting dangerous and unsupported alternative medicine, Wikipedia, and known for dangerous and unsubstantiated alternative medicine claims. Where is Google Knowledge Bar getting that information? From the Wikipedia page. Exactly. It's coming exactly from this line right here. An Australian alternative medicine personality known for promoting dangerous and unsupported alternative medicine. My team wrote that. My team did that. So now, wait till you see this. So here's Barbara O'Neill. We thought she was going to get nothing. 50 views a day or something like that. So we wrote the page back in 2019, And it's gotten, from 2019 to 2023, she's gotten 124,000 views on her Wikipedia page. That's healthy for somebody who's not really healthy, promoting. Then she found TikTok, okay? Scary. She found TikTok. She's got 1.2 million followers now. The screenshot's about a week old. She has 2.8 million likes. So she's a doctor, apparently. Health assistance and well-being. Now this is another TikToker. I'm going to play this video. It's about 1.5 minutes long.
Salt is a dangerous salt. Seawater contains 92 minerals. Approximately 30% is sodium, 50% is chloride, because we now have two very harsh minerals that if you were to inject both of those into the blood, you would die. So when people come to me with high blood pressure, I put them on Celtic salt, because Celtic salt contains 82 minerals.
Hold on, did she just attack sodium chloride for containing sodium and chloride? Time school. Just so you guys know, this is Barbara O'Neill, a naturopath who actually got banned from teaching after the New South Wales Healthcare Complaints Commission investigation found that she lacked any health-related qualifications, degree, diploma, or membership from an accredited health organisation, and for providing dangerous, unsupported health advice to vulnerable groups. This included advising parents to feed their infants raw goat milk or almond milk blended with dates or banana instead of formula, and recommending cancer patients forego chemotherapy in favour of baking soda wraps and dietary changes. And in this video she stated that if you inject sodium or chloride into the blood you would die. This is how I know she has no clinical experience at all. Do you want to know what I prescribe every single hospital shift I work? These bags of fluid with literally sodium chloride inside it. But of course, as with anything, there will always be a toxicity point, but that doesn't make it bad, so I have no idea what she's on about. And lastly, trace minerals in the salt do not make it better for hypertension. Controlled trials show unrefined salts do not make any difference to your blood pressure. Salt is salt. Class dismissed.
So who is this man? Okay, so this is a medical doctor. You know he's a medical doctor. How do you know? Because he's got a stethoscope. No, I'm kidding. Apparently he is a real medical doctor. I think he has a Wikipedia page. So he's got 1.9 million followers, 24 million likes. Okay, so this is pretty awesome. But did you notice what he was doing? I don't know if anybody noticed. Shout it out. Did anybody notice it? He's quoting the Wikipedia page. He is reading the exact words my editor sitting in a bunker somewhere in a basement, I don't know where. One of my editors wrote that Wikipedia page, not meaning it to go anywhere. Just a thing that was on the skeptic zone and the Australian skeptics had been reporting on. We just wrote the Wikipedia page as a fluke. To get a Wikipedia page, you have to have notability, but that standard is very high. This woman barely passed that standard, but we wrote it just as a precautionary thing. And I'm glad we did, because now this man is, so this is Wikipedia stats. So I showed you she had 124,000 or something up until that point, but here's 2023. So from 2023, here's what the Wikipedia stats look like now. And if you want the number, it is 4 million people have gone to her Wikipedia page since she got TikToked. She went on TikTok. Before, it was 124. After TikTok, 4 million. And let's just point out, this man with millions of views on his videos is even giving even more. People don't have to go to Wikipedia anymore. They're getting their information from Google knowledge bars and Google searches and all sorts of searches and TikTok and everywhere else. So the words that my people are writing and that I train people to do in all subjects you can imagine are just being repeated by people all over the internet, because that's how important science communication is with Wikipedia. It's not people just going to Wikipedia, they're quoting it verbatim. They're plagiarizing it, and we're fine with that. If they're going to plagiarize, make sure it's good plagiarism. You're getting good sources. So ignoring Wikipedia at our peril. If you don't take this seriously, we are going to fail even further. And this has been our mission for 10 years or something like that. I don't know how long, what is it, 2025 now? 15 years? We take it seriously and we write fun, frivolous things. We have a good time and we go to conferences. It's really great. But it's important that we have really great information out there because they're using it. And I guess that I'm really close to ending my slides because, you know, I rewrote these in the morning. So I think I will have time for questions. So if you want to join our GSOW team, I am here, my team's here. There's other editors, Kat's over here in the back, She's one of my editors. And we have a little table over here, and there's some swag on it. You're welcome to take all the swag you want. And if you have ways of getting us onto podcasts, videos, interviews, whatever, because I need editors. So even if you can't do it, please help us get to a point where we can help other people become editors. Get us in front of people who, one of the struggles we're running into is we don't have, my people are all science literate, but some Wikipedia pages, every Wikipedia page, every fish, every flower, every rock that has a Wikipedia page needs to be evaluated and looked at and written correctly and then translated in multiple languages. My team doesn't have the expertise to do that because we're not all in that field. So some people I do have in the field have PhDs in chemistry, but they don't know how to edit Wikipedia, so we'll teach them how to do it. They join the team. It is a secret cabal. It is Facebook. We are nice people. Don't read Twitter or Reddit because you will see that they think we're CIA operatives or whatever. I don't know. So we'll be happy to talk to you about this. I did want to mention really quickly that the screen is here to remind me that we have written over, as Adrian said, 2,000 pages. I think we're 2,350 pages or something like that by now. I am just amazed by it. So those pages, because we keep track. So we have 2,300 and something pages written. So how many times have those 2,350 pages been viewed? Because we need to be able to give back. We have to know, right? So the number, I didn't write it down exactly because I didn't want to go too deeply, is that we have hit 194 million views. And we're doing it, thank you. My team, I am so proud of them. This clip will go viral on YouTube, or not YouTube, Twitter. Right now they'll clip that little part about me saying how many editors I have, how many views we have, and how proud I am. The UFO community will clip that little bit, and they're gonna put it all over the place. This is what a villain I am. It's hilarious right now. But we can see our numbers, and we will hit 200 million page views this summer. I know we will, because you can trend it, unless I get more of you guys joining, and then we'll hit it sooner. But so 200 million page views, plus all the people are getting the information from searches, plagiarizing it onto blogs, letters, emails, your neighbors telling you about it, and people on TikTok and so on who are giving that information like that. So it's so important, it's too important to ignore. So that is my presentation, and I have actually time. I don't know how that happened.
If anybody has any questions, you can text them to the number that's written at the bottom of the agenda page on your table.
And I'm around all weekend, and I'm very friendly. You can talk to me. It's okay. Or talk to my less scary people.
Susan, if you could just repeat the question after I say it.
Yes.
Do you think that the psychics believe themselves? Do you think they actually think they know what they're doing?
Okay. Do psychics believe themselves? Mark Edward and I, no, just to be clear, he wrote the book on how psychics are doing this. He came clean and wrote it in a book, and as he said, he was a great friend of James Randi. So Mark says that most people believe, he says most people, 95% know they're charlatans. I think it's a lot less. I think it's probably, God, I don't know. I think a lot of people fool themselves into it. Just as I showed you with the motivated sitting, I mean, even the psychics think there's something there. They might think they have to cheat sometimes, and that maybe they're just like, what is it, the ends justifying the means? And I think that a lot of women are pressured into this, and as a second income and so on, way to make money. The other thing I think is that, but if you're hot reading, that's a person who is reading your social media or whatever, and that's the sting I'm going to be doing. The Operation Banana Cream Pie is a hot reader. She's going to have information ahead of time that I'm feeding her that she's not psychic, so she won't know. But like I said, I'll talk to you privately. I just can't do it on video because I don't want anything to leak out who it is. You won't know who it is. It's not anybody you know. Those hot readers know they're cheating. And I have been told by people who cold read, that's like just, you know, coming up with something just based on what you look like or whatever, Barnum statements, that they must know that they're cheating because over time, they're saying the same phrase. Like you could talk to one psychic and she says this thing, and then you watch her a year later, she's saying the same thing, and then a year later, she's saying the same thing. So they have to know after a while that they must be faking it because, so I don't know, I'm not in their heads. They might think they sometimes do. I all do think they all think they're helping, and they're not. That's not how you deal with grief.
I think we have time for one more question. How do you avoid wiki mobs that change your content to be more flattering to themselves?
How do people change our content afterwards? Almost nobody ever changes our content because I train them right. And I have a wonderful team that mentors each other. And so when we write a Wikipedia page, we write it correctly, and it's very hard to change it. And most people who want to change the Wikipedia pages have no idea what they're doing. They get themselves banned. They go in and they try to change it, and it's changed back in seconds. Not necessarily by our team, but by somebody on Wikipedia or robots. They have bots on Wikipedia that do a lot of the vandalism checks. So we have almost no changing back, though some people try. Adrian has written an article for Skeptical Inquirer about the Winchester Mystery House article that she wrote. Amazing article, by the way. And somebody from the Mystery House tried to change the article back and tried to make the argument that, well, you guys are here, what about all the ghost stories? And you know, we know because we're here at the house and all that, and we just changed it back right away. So we really don't have to have any. There are no mobs of people trying to change this stuff. It's a fallacy. I just don't see it.
Except the UFO.
Oh, the UFO people are constantly trying to change it, but they're banned really quickly because they just think I'm a CIA or whatever it is. I don't know. I don't know what's in these people's heads. It's weird. It's weird right now. So you'll find these little stickers all over the place on our thing. You'll see some people wearing them. That's how you kind of know it's one of us. But if you want to pick up a sticker, they're over there for you guys to pick up and so on. And I thank you guys so much for your attention.
Well,